Yo, what's good? It's your boy Brandon Basile. I'm getting into doing some music reviews. So I figured that I would do Rihanna's newest album, Anti. I'm actually listening to the deluxe version. Yo, if you got the album, you can listen along. You can like put it on in the background, play it off your phone or something, or if if you want. I'm not playing it on my video just because I don't know if I can. I don't want to record a video. Then they'd be like, "Yo, you can't use the video at all." So, yeah, because I've heard of it. Prince is a monster for that. But anyways, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. Take your second, get yourself situated. I'm gonna start. I got like I wrote some notes down for like each song, thoughts about each song, track by track analysis, so I could get in on some of the artistic perspective and all, figure I'd do this over some stuff that everybody listening to. But really dive in and see what the music is working with. So yeah. So number one was Consideration featuring SZA. And well, SZA, if y'all don't know, SZA, she usually down with the TDE, Tough Dog, ENT with Kendrick and his boys and everything. She's saying she nice, she real nice. They made it the thoughts of the themes of the song is about artistic freedom and how Rihanna got to go her own way and everything. Some reggae rhythms on the vocal, which is like it sets the tone throughout the rest of the album for all of the reggae isms that's going to be coming along later. SZA, she contributes a great feeling, definitely a nice vocal tonal contrast to Rihanna on the cut because she starts off with the reggae vibe. She's singing real kind of like nasally kind of stuff. But SZA open up with a lot of falsetto range type stuff for a nice little softness. It's great. I will say the name I'm just listening to I was listening to the deluxe version, which is a total of 16 tracks as opposed to the 13 tracks on the regular version. The deluxe version is on title. Check it. Not trying to oversell them, but hey, they got a lot of videos, all the videos of Rihanna all there too, so you can just watch it all right there. So title is all right. Um, title album being titled Anti. I feel that's very fitting because throughout the album, I mean, it's just like she's a bit social, but she's not social. She talks about some common things that we hear in a lot of stuff. People like that she's dated, like Chris Brown and Drake or whatnot. Some of the same popular themes of I would say social stuff, especially Facebook and Instagram lines and stuff later on in the album. But I feel like it's very fitting because it's like a lot of his stuff is about a person that's antisocial. I mean, I imagine it's like anti-social, but because she got a bitchy attitude and everything, which we all know that. I mean, come on, like we know this about Rihanna already. I mean, I feel like that her anti-social attitude, we didn't even need to get that. You didn't even need to name the album that. You could have named it something else like Deep Dark Fantasy, which is all seems about. Could have named it anything else besides anti. Like we already knew that. Nobody had to tell us that Rihanna. But continuing on. Number two is James Joint, which was a cool track. Some interesting keyboard tones and quirky, kind of spacey, kind of smooth stuff. Not quirky like, but it's not quirky like fart sounds, kind of stuff. But it's like smooth, kind of spacey tones. It's real nice. From the title James Joint, I mean, I say it maybe this is an equivalent to Rick James's Mary Jane, or maybe it's another song about a dysfunctional relationship, which you get a lot of from Rihanna and this album in general. But yeah, Kiss It Better is a really great song. Kiss It Better is great guitar melody to lead. The whole the tone of it of the whole song sounds very popish. Um, I could honestly hear Gwen Stefani singing a song like "Kiss It Better." It's a great song, but it just something. I love Gwen Stefani. Don't get me wrong, but It shows where, honestly, it shows where the competition that Rihanna is placing herself with. I mean, honestly, yeah, like it shows the vein of where Rihanna is reaching. Um, that much into pop, and I mean, and everything that comes with it. The pop audience sounds that they will know, but then but taking it, pushing it into different rhythms and grooves throughout, especially with so much. It's like I'm so much pop, but then you came on the first track, she came with so much reggae. So, but these are things that we knew about Rihanna always. She's social. Her sound is social, but it's anti-social and still like ethnic, cultural, family. Kind of like deep into family, somewhat. I would say deep into family. Um, Funny thing is, some of the lyrics, some of the verses aren't like melodically all that strong, so to speak. But the chorus melody of "What Are You Willing to Do" is it really builds the song like melodically, the tones that you kind of that we want to hear it come back to. But it even saves the song because since that melody is so strong and so infectious, um, it gives her the range to be more experimental in the verses. I mean, they don't have to sound up and down and things like that. With the notes and everything, it doesn't have to sound like that, but it does give a lot of it gives that, but that melody, since it's so good, it gives her range to do other things, which is I feel is a kind of construct that she was working around with the entire structure of this album. I mean, in the pop songs, and it was a bit of a dice game. She rolling with them. She was rolling with. She was building it, taking chances to play nice here, but then play rough over here. Play nice over here, play rough over here. Seems to be it seems to be a thing that Rihanna does a lot of throughout this album. Um, Work, definitely pop sound, definitely reggae, definitely pop, definitely reggae. Drake assisted, Um, Drake with his, his rhythmic singing as just straight hip hop R&B, her with the all reggae kind of feel. They they make good music together. They work well together. They do. Nobody can deny that. But I will say it's an interesting having Drake is a bit interesting as opposed to a more Caribbean reggae artist as like a Sean Paul sound. I could hear Sean Paul going on that, and honestly, I think like Sean Paul could have did that one better. I mean, like it'd have been more danceable. Cause I feel like the rhythm is there, but it's not. It's real smooth. It's real smooth, gentle. I mean, even honestly, since Drake on the track, just to bring him up, even similar to like Hotline Bling, it's got a melody. It's a rhythm that it really makes when you hear it, you really want to dance, you really want to move to it, but it's not emphasized with heavy drums or even like if the bass was all that deep so much. It's certain range in the stage there, and it just lets you just hang out right there, which is cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's good, feel good, sexy, but it's cool. It's still cool. Not sweating too much. I don't mind sweating. When you putting it, when you really get to dancing, you shit, you gonna want to sweat anyways. But you ain't got to. It's more of a dancing than mine on work, and I would even say on Hotline Bling. Desperado. Personally, I feel like the first couple of verses, first couple of lines, they seem like Drake inspired, even possibly why it came after work. I mean, who knows? They probably she might have made these in that order, but I doubt it. But it's possible she could have made those right after another. And like Desperado, it just it's more of her singing in a nasally tone of voice. The rhythm of it, Desperado, it sounds like Drake to me. Sound like some he could cook up. I mean, but it's a good song throughout though. Because the other rhythms change and she builds up. She goes with some highs and some lows. Um, her softing backing vocal, her softer backing vocals on that song really gives it save that song texturally, like because it heard but then she really comes with some really soft, higher range stuff. Is great. It shows a more of a freer sound than her more pop mainstream stuff. Isn't it Desperado? You got the feel of like the her rhythms more. I mean reggae pop, real talk. But Desperado, some of the themes are more like feel like cowboyish. So it's still ethnic. She's still staying ethnic and cultural, like things and stories around the neighborhood type vibe. Um, and so I respect that. I don't like that song all that much. That song in it by itself, could have done without it. She probably could have cooked up something better than that. Real talk. She probably got something in the back that was better than that one. But Desperado, it was thematically even because it's kind of like her this antisocial girl is in love with the desperado. So there's a story in that also. How many girls are antisocial? How many she's in love with the story of the desperado, And everybody loves the desperado. So it kind of shows that she's antisocial, but she's relatable and connectable to everybody else you and everybody else But the song in itself, nah. But woo, woo. It was a really great production on that one, really good. It sounds like it features Future on the backing. It sounds like who knows, might be. It's got definitely got a deep, dark, and beautiful feel. I imagine this is what sex with Rihanna is like. This is what the whole album is telling you. Honestly, it's like I mean, there's aggression in there, and but it can't be really be used as like a romantic, sexy time baby maker. You're not really that woo woo is it's sexy. It sounds sexy, like a little sexy. She calling, she chanting, she calling to you like a siren song through the woods. Cause she in the woods. She down by the river or something. Cause she Caribbean and everything. But she popular. Everybody know. But she not really popular. She not really pop. But she pop by default. Rihanna, story for life. Um, but it's deep, dark, and beautiful. Definitely some. I mean, creepy kind of sounds there. Not creepy. I don't want to. It's not creepy to me, but that's like the only way you could describe it. Like dark and haunting. The hauntingness comes on, builds on later on. Also, needed me. It really does. Great production though. Needed me. I could have done without that. I could have done without that one also. More themes of troubled relationships, and I mean, with all the stuff that between her, Drake, and Chris Brown, the news and the media, like we could connect the dots to figure out what happened, and and it happened. But nobody cares. Nobody really cares about the drama. I mean, the drama. I done heard that same kind of drama from crazy ass people around the corner. I mean, at work. I mean, it's so it's like we heard the story before. Nobody really cares. Could give us something else. Whether it's superstar or shopkeep. I don't give a damn either way. Um, and after a while, it becomes a redundant theme to be used as a loaded universal concept as opposed to writing songs of deeper meaning. Yeah, everybody it make a song about how I was in a bad relationship. Everybody knows that. Everybody can relate to that. But it's like, after that's all most R&B songs are about. And after you heard one, you heard another. You had heard them all. I mean, most times. I mean, between like artists like Keisha Cole. I mean, she had that situation bad, and I feel like Rihanna is the same. It's like you hear her talk about relationships. One song about of her talking about relationships, you've heard them all. And how many albums is this in? About what, 5, 6? Which is great and all, but it's like, come on. Um, she seems to address this later, but I mean, it addresses more of these themes about questions of themes and stuff like that later. But it needed me. It was all right. I could have done without it thematically and musically. It was okay, but to a certain extent, feels like this album and Rihanna even needs songs like this because she's in a certain position and certain audiences will love a song like that. Needed Me is a fitting title, huh? The album needed this song. I guess she needed it. But yeah, I said it. Well, it's all right. I guess everyone loves that she said fuck a title, huh? You know, like everybody's been waiting to hear that. It's all right. Well, yeah, yawn. Decent song. It's all right. Same old mistakes. Really great song. Like I really like. I honestly some of the intricacies of the rhythms and everything like that. I can't say enough about that. I can't even find the words for some of this stuff. Some of that stuff, it's great. It's just so great, and there's nothing else you could say about it past that. I mean, certain, but I will say one thing that's interesting in the lyrics, even especially, is that the name of the song is "Same Old Mistakes," but the chorus begins with the line saying "I feel like a brand new person." That is very ironic. I mean, that's poetic right there. That's poetic right there, Rihanna. You didn't even need it. That was like I would I could do with more Rihanna like that. I mean, later on in the album, she seemed to instead of just talking, She seemed to talk around issues as opposed to just talking about it. Um, but it's an infectious, great guitar workings all throughout that song. Um, what else? Less about relationship drama and just more about, I mean, even her ideas of her individuality and things like that. Or definitely her individuality, which is a major focus of this album. Um, and it was stronger by comparison, especially in lyrics and themes and whatnot. It was a lot stronger than even like Needed Me. Melodically, musically, it was a lot stronger than lyrically. I mean, it seemed like this person is going through the same amount of struggle with love and drama as in same old mistake, same amount of drama and same old mistake as in Needed Me. Could have just done more like same old mistake, less like Needed Me. Never ending. OMG. Great acoustic guitar melodies all throughout. This is fucking crazy. Great songwriting and lyrics. Yeah, at this point, this was like track 6. It really feels like the album is picking up pace. Some great bright sounds to juxtapose against the darker tones of the majority of all of the album. Honestly, I mean, work was it's feel good upbeat, but even that wasn't even it's the range of it stayed in one kind of spot. It didn't expand much. So Never Ending has some of the brightest feelings of the album. Love on the Brain, it starts off with more falsetto, which is not heard much by her. Arpeggiated guitar like old school jazz like Etta James. um at the beginning she goes back to some nasally tone and then turns it back up, but to see my problem with her nasally is that she sounds similar to a lot of other female R&B artists like Andra Day. I believe Andra Day. Um, she's a great singer, but when they're singing most of their songs, they kind of stay in this certain range and sound not even just range, but it's like their voice sounds somewhat identical, and which is bad. You don't want to sound that much like another person, not that much. Um, but what the fuck do I know, huh? But what the fuck do I know? Higher. Okay, in this song, she has a line says something about I could be more creative. I know I could be more creative and come up with poetic lines and things like that, which is I don't personally like lines like that because like, well, do it then. That's what my initial thought was. Well, do it then. More nasal tone throughout the song and some vocal cracking in the singing of some of it, which is effective because it shows real passion. It seems like it seemed like she just somewhere chilling high and just felt like I wanted to sing a song about my baby. Talking about I could write better, but or come up with more poetic stuff. So sometimes I'm just the next line say, but I'm turned up upstairs. It says I could be more creative and come up with poetic lines, but I'm turned up upstairs and I love you is the only thing that's on my mind. And I mean, it fits. It fits. A lot of the album fits. Some stuff I don't personally. I mean, not that I don't like it, but it could have just been better. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but yeah, it seemed like it was because it carried on the old school vibe from Love on the Brain. So it seems like a bit of a part two. It pays good homage to the classic soul roots of the music, um, of music in general, especially popular as Rihanna is. It's like effective for her to pay homage to someone like Etta James, essentially, because it shows I'm this old school but then I'm still from the Caribbean and I'm so pop as so different areas, such vastly different areas from each other, um, temporally and location, not temporally and like on a if these places were places on a map. Pop is far from being Caribbean, but then even the old school is back years too, so it gives depth for different areas. Um, I didn't like some of it. I didn't like that part. I really didn't like that part. It's like don't say stuff like that. Just do better. But about the I could be write more poetic lines. Like don't just do it. But all of that feels like it's necessary for the ride of this experience of this girl, not Rihanna per se, but this girl, this antisocial girl, this antisocial girlfriend, because she's just up chilling with her friend, probably one friend, and somewhere upstairs chilling, smoking and shit, and one friend, one person there. She's not really caring about how good it sounds, and she's got to get it out. Antisocial from everybody else. A lot of this stuff it feels like a lot of this album feels like there's not a lot of people around. Intimate moments with just me and you kind of vibe. Um, not all these love songs and all it creates a certain moment of closeness with the person, which is fitting because the next song is called "Close to You." Great song, great lyrics. I don't even want to go and talk about lyrics all that much because it's just, you don't even need to. Like, I don't need to. Like, I don't even want to talk about lyrics all that much. You just got to, so much of these, of the lyrics of this album, you just got to experience it for yourself, really. Um, it's a great song. I really wouldn't mind hearing it as a duet. It seems like a lot of these songs is like, she's antisocial, but she's still there with you. She's still there in the room with you. She's still there around you because everything's doing lyrics build up like doing all this stuff and hoping that it gets close to you. So it's she's still trying to be close with you like that, which is nice. Yeah, I love you too, Rihanna. But it's a great song, very emotional song. I could personally even hear somebody doing like a song like that. I would love to see that live. Just her and just the guitar, just just even just the guitars. I could hear somebody doing it like on American Idol. It's not all that powerful, but it's a very good song. Mil- This songwriting, very great song. The original release of the album stops there. Um, the rest of the songs on the album, the deluxe has three more songs: "Good Night Gotham," "Pose," and "Sex with Me." I will say, "Internet Close to You" it's a good ride by itself. Honest part to me would have left it there and even put maybe Good Night Gotham up in the joint and just ended it that close to you. That would have been a great album. Good Night Gotham is very awesome track with backing vocals. The power of the drops remind me of like FKA Twigs, but it's a lot darker there, a lot more even aggressive. Like it's like a chase because it really makes you think Good Night Gotham. Good Night Gotham. Mentally, I see blacks and grays, Batman. Yeah, but the sound and the feeling, and even that title brings thoughts back to her feature chorus verses on Jay Z and Kanye's "Run This Town." black superhero vibe. It's like, where is Jay Z at? Like, come on, especially on a track like that. I would love to hear Jay Z on a vibe like that. Like, oh, that would be fucking crazy. Where the remix? Holla at your boy. Come on. Pose, it's I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a club joint or a trip into Harley from Batman's Psychosis. It's a trip. It's a lot of trippiness. It's a trip and it's trippy. Like, you got to be half of that. There's a lot of experimental vocal stylings. Like some African sounding, lightly Afro. I say lightly African. It's African. The experience of the track, even the album, the experience of the track is African-esque, like call and response, some drum, with the drums and stuff, but it's building, like it's chanting, like she's chanting back and forth to each other, and it all makes for a good trip, but a lot of it is like, whoa, it's a it's a it gets a little bit messy in there at times, messy, murky, but you can still see, but it's you still want to go along for the ride. Honestly, you want to see where it's going to go. It's called Pose. Pose. It was Had a lot of stuff going on. Not bad, not all that great. It's needed for the full experience of what it is that she's trying to do with the sound. Um, Especially if you compare some of the expressive nature of that one with like Same Old Mistakes, which was a lot darker. Pose, it shows even how it is a very they mirror each other. Those two are ones that reflect each other well. Pose and Same Old Mistakes. And the last one is titled "Sex with Me," which is I'd say that's like the key to the whole album. "Sex with Me," like that's a great way to hide it at the last song. But the whole album isn't sex with Rihanna, nor sex with the girl, the antisocial girl. But it is, I mean, part of it is. It's a good ride. The whole album, it's a good ride. And now it's like she painted it with so much darkness. The cover is red and white, a lot of darkness in there, so you get some black. Now it's like, for the next album, painted with some more colors. It may not. It makes you expect to see some more colors as she moves forward with her experimental call and response, Caribbean influence, African influence, but definitely pop sensible. Um, Creative endeavors and everything that she does. Honestly, it's a good representation of Rihanna. What you can expect. There's nothing. I feel like there's nothing there that I didn't expect, though. There wasn't much there that I didn't expect, but I mean, hey, sometimes people didn't. She probably didn't expect it to be good. I mean, but this was her first time out with an album, for her album. That's not. It wasn't on her original contract, so she had more creative control. She was just wanting to make good music, regardless of how it was going to be received and everything like that. So it's good. I commend Rihanna on that. It's a good album. I enjoyed it. Personally, I feel like I could have done without Sex with Me. You don't want to give them too much, could have done without Sex with Me. We already knew it was about sex with you. Um, Put Good Night Gotham on that before earlier, and Pose probably on there earlier, and just ended it with Close to You. Close to You is a very great song. She had great songs on this whole album. Much props to Rihanna, Rock Nation. Well, how about y'all stay awesome? Good night, Gotham.